Hey guys, I'm Tim Lance with Red Dog Bushcraft, home of global safety and survival. Thanks for joining me for another video. Now today I want to talk to you about something that we need when we're out in the bush. It ranks up there pretty high on the priority list as far as I'm concerned, and that's a good night's sleep. If we start missing sleep and we start getting tired, it's going to affect everything else in our camping, our bushcraft, or our survival situation. And you know, a lot of times when I go out, it's a matter of wanting to go out and enjoy myself, not roughing it. I want to smooth it. I'm going to bring you in here right now and I'm going to show you the sleep system that I prefer, what I use 3 seasons out of the year, and how I find that I can get my best night's sleep. And I'll show you exactly how I bought this system and what I've added to it to increase my comfort. Stay with me. I'll reposition the camera, bring you a little bit closer so you can take a good look at this kit. Okay, here what we have is the DD Hammock system, and I bought the entire kit, and that kit consists of, you can go on their website and double check me just to make sure I'm including everything, but it's this backpack, which is a nice size generous backpack. You can take your pick of hammocks, and I chose the travel hammock bivy, which has an extra sleeve in the bottom and it's waterproof on the bottom. Now some people will like that and some people won't. The advantage to that is it gives you the protection if you're using it not as a hammock but as a bivy on the ground. So it gives you a moisture barrier. The disadvantage to that is in extreme heat like we have down here in the south, it does not breathe, so you can wind up sweating on your backside in this thing. Or so I'm told. I have not had an issue with it because I include a very small sheet on the bottom of it, and if I'm sweating all over. It really doesn't seem to make any difference in the hammock material. I do have other hammocks that are not coated, and I've used those in some of those hotter conditions, and I would say that it doesn't make me go away from this particular hammock. The other thing it comes with is the rain fly, and I upgraded to the larger rain fly to give me more protection so that when I'm using it in 3 seasons, in colder environments or very windy environments, if I do not want that breeze blowing through, it gives me that protection, plus it allows me to make some of these other shelters that we've talked about a little bit easier. It's a nice tarp, plenty of tie outs all the way around and through the center, high quality, lightweight, nice size. And it comes with the tent stakes and the lines and everything that you need to fly this tarp. We have here a size 2mm by 0.8 sleeper. This is basically a sleeping bag liner. It can also be used just as a cover sheet for insect protection when you're traveling and you're staying in hotels. It can also be used inside the hammock by itself just to give you a sheet for a light covering. Now what I've added to this particular system is I include this right here, which I found to be a very nice piece of equipment. This is an emergency blanket. It's a microfiber material, and I broke this one out so that I could read you ATI is the manufacturer of this. I bought it from the Aquamira. That's what I was trying to say. I bought that while I was at the gathering this year from the Pathfinder store, and that was a very nice addition to the hammock. It gives you just a nice light covering of a very nice feeling material while you're sleeping in the hammock. And also because the DD Hammock has 2 bottoms, and it's velcroed, and you can open that thing up, and that's so that you can put a thermarest pad, which I have here, I've included in the kit, in between those 2 layers and velcro it back up, so when you're using it on bivy on the ground, along with whatever debris you collect up, you've got a nice thermarest pad to sleep on. You know, the older I get, the more I find that having not only the insulating layer but something a little bit softer to lay on really helps my back and my hips in the night. But I also use this in the hammock when I have it raised up, and I'm flying that hammock, or when I've got it strung up, so that it helps keep it apart and doesn't wrap you up like a taco. So these are the particular, this is the particular sleep system that I prefer to use, and I'll go ahead and set it up now. I've already shown how I do my tie outs on another hammock video, so I won't bore you with that, but I'll go ahead and fly this system so that you can see the way I hang it and fly the tarp. Okay, I went ahead and hung one side of the hammock with the straps that are included with this, just so that I could show you that this hammock, I ordered, it came in something, I believe they call it a snake skin or a hammock skin, and this is just a thin tube that the hammock lives inside of. And as you can see, the advantage of that is, as I start to hang it, when I lay it on the ground, my hammock is out of the dirt. Now this comes with a generous amount of cordage that I just daisy chain. So I pull it out, and I've already got this very low stretch, high strength webbing. It's about 1/4 of an inch that I can use to hang the hammock. And I hang that in the exact same fashion that I showed earlier. I just pull it tight, wrap it around the tree multiple times, just using that friction, and so I don't have a lot of cordage laying on the ground around my camp. And then I simply tie my shoestring knot. Just a simple bow. Now we can take this and just start pulling down our skin here, our tube, and that will expose the hammock. I'll go to the other side, pull that on down. And there's our hammock. Now, what I like about this hammock is it has a built-in bug net. And down here in the south, that is absolutely critical. And on that, they include some bungee cord. I just keep that tied up. And what I'll do now is I'll run my ridge line and I'll pull that to hold the bug screen up off top of the hammock. Okay guys, so here's the hammock set up. I'm not going to fly the rain fly this time. We've seen that on enough videos. I think you know how to put a rain fly over top of a ridge line and stake it out by now. I just wanted to show you a couple of the features and why I chose this particular hammock. Here's the Velcro bottom that I was telling you about. This is the part that's waterproof. This is the inside of your hammock, which gives you an envelope in here. This is where I like to put my thermal rest mattress so that it's not in my sleeping area. It's a nice, wide, generous, plenty of long hammock. The bug netting is very fine. It's black and it enables you to see through this material, but it does give you a little bit of sun protection if you decide that you want to lay in it during the day but you don't want to put the rain fly up. The zippers are high quality. They have pulls on both the insides and the outsides, and they're on both sides of the hammock. So no matter which side you decide to enter and exit, it allows you to do that. There's also a couple of hanging loops that are right underneath of these spreader bars, and there are these little pockets made on top of the bug net that have some shot corded small poles in them that keep this bug net spread apart. I have another hammock system that has a built-in bug net, which I enjoy a lot, but it does not have that spreader bar, so you really have to set your ridge line up high to not have that net blowing in on you from the sides, because it's a fairly large size hammock. Two people can sleep in that thing real comfortable. The bottom, as far as the waterproofing goes, does not seem to bother me at all because of the amount of airflow, I guess, but it's nice to be able to use it as a ground bivvy. And I like the whole multi-purpose thing, so having something that I can use as a bivvy bag as well as a hammock just seems to work for me. There's many different hammocks out there on the market. This is a good quality one, and it's the one I prefer, but there's many out there. The key to finding a good sleep system is doing your research. find out what you're going to be doing and how you're going to be camping, how you're going to be spending your time in the bush. I would say at least 80% of the time, and then buy your sleep system based on that 80%. And then that 20% that's left over, you can either modify that system or have a backup system for that odd time out here and there. But a good night's sleep, just it can't be overstated enough that you really need that when you're out. And I prefer this because of the lightweightness, the versatility, and once again the bug protection, which is just, you've got to have it down south. The chemicals just ain't going to work for you all night long. You've got to have some type of a bug net, and with this one being built and the way it's designed, it just seems to work for me. So thanks for joining me once again. I hope you found this series on shelters informative. And I know somebody's going to ask the question, why a hammock over a tent? Hey, it's just because I'm more comfortable in it off the ground than I am laying on the ground in anything that I have found as far as air mats. When you talk about the weight versus the gain, it's just what I prefer. If I do use a tent, I like one without a bottom, and that's a whole nother subject, but the hammock is just what I found that works for me. So let me answer that question before we close out. So once again, I'm Tim Langston with Red Dog Bushcraft, home of global safety and survival. And until next time, God bless y'all. I'll try to get another video series going here real soon.